What's up, everybody? So today we're talking about NFTs, helping digital artists of all levels find a way to make money for their work. Daughter of the former Blockbuster CEO joins the Blockbuster DAO's core team. That's right, people are bringing Blockbuster back. And the New York City Mayor confirms he is still taking his first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin despite all the FUD. What's up? Hey, waving. Welcome to How About That Crypto. I am Bitcoin Stylist with your daily news update. My goal is to simplify and make more accessible the world of crypto, Web3, and digital assets. Please click on the link tree, subscribe, like, and comment on the YouTube channel. Please comment below. I really want some feedback. I'm still in pilot mode, so I'm probably going to do all of the lingo terms over again. If you didn't check the previous video out, I just did. I do 2 videos a day, lingo, terminology in under 10 minutes, and then I do a daily update in 10 minutes. So why don't you check that out? Give me some feedback. I really do want it because when I go live, I want to make sure that I get y'all's feedback. Okay, so let's see. So first, starting off, San Francisco Examiner. I found this really interesting article where they interviewed a bunch of local artists, smaller digital artists who historically have had a hard time really making money for their creations. And they're talking about how they're appreciating NFTs for helping them make more money for their work. So just a couple pieces from this. The NFT doesn't refer to an asset itself, but an agreement certifying ownership and authenticity of a digital asset. I just did a video about NFTs, and so this is going to kind of build on top of that, which is kind of the whole idea is like as you watch these short videos, hopefully over time, you can kind of build up an understanding and we can have conversations about it. Maybe you can come onto the show and we can have a little chat and you can ask questions, I can ask you questions, we can just whatever. All right, so after minting an NFT, one is theoretically able to track all transactions of an asset back to the creator, and this guarantees authenticity without provenance documents. I know some people will appreciate that terminology. Basically, that means like for those lawyers out there, you kind of like taking out some of the legal steps that someone needs to really understand if this is real and authentic and who owned it and who owns it currently. And a lot of these like smaller artists really are happy about the NFT market because they're experiencing financial freedom. And if it's not financial freedom, then it's easing the burden of higher prices and just it's just hard out there in the world to make it. So it's about time that digital artists have a way to get their stuff directly to their people. And also like artists who have like not unwell-known musicians can like sell their music and create their own little communities and do it through NFTs and not have to worry about distribution or being on some platform that doesn't pay you or pays you like super small pennies. Anyway, moving on. Next one, Blockbuster DAO. So I'll do a video on what is a DAO. It stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Essentially, it's think of it almost like a co-op or like a bunch of people get together and they decide on their goal and they write out like all the rules of the protocol and like kind of like almost like creating like a business. That's why I said a co-op. And they agree to do something. Like, so one group wanted to buy an original version of the Constitution, and they raised, like, I don't know how many millions of dollars. They ended up getting beat at auction last minute. But this group wants to buy Blockbuster. So they're going to buy Blockbuster from Dish Network. They want to raise $5 million, and then they want to turn Blockbuster into a blockchain streaming company, and they want to use the fees for the transactions, and then like just the mechanisms of crypto is like you can, as a token holder, you can invest and reap the benefits of the underlying network or project. And in this case, it would be the Blockbuster would be doing raising money for indie films, beginner films. Also, like just imagine if you could have a say and reap the financial rewards of the next Blockbuster original, okay? And I just think it's pretty crazy, Everyone's like, you don't want to be Blockbuster, you want to be Netflix. Well, if these people pull off Blockbuster, then maybe you want to be Blockbuster. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Okay, New York City Mayor confirms that he's going to take his first 3 checks in Bitcoin. There's a Slate magazine I'll include because I want to include like the naysayers and the negatives on all of this. It's pretty negative. This person thinks that the mayor's promoting gambling and cozying up to crypto industry and VCs and at the expense of solving other problems. So I just want to like take a second and get you to ask yourself some questions. And whenever you're talking to somebody or hear someone talking, I want you to like remember this, okay? When someone says it's a bubble, ask, how do you know it's a bubble? How do you know? Okay, just ask that. How do you know it's gambling? How do you know? I mean, if the stock market isn't gambling, of course. If you don't think the stock market's gambling, then how do you know? Now remember, the dot-com bubble. Everyone likes to talk about the dot-com bubble. Well, I wish I was invested during the dot-com bubble. I would have invested the same way I invest. I diversify, I do my research, I pick the companies or projects, in this case coins, I call them projects, that I think are going to be something. And I would have owned Amazon.com. I would have owned Google.com. I would have owned Yahoo.com. I would have owned all these things. I might have owned Pets.com or these other ones because I like to, take risks. But I would have definitely diversified into projects and heavily weighted in things that made sense. And I just like to believe that I would have that would have picked those horses, and those horses would have made up for more than any of the losses I would have had depending on how I diversify. So something to think about, like, is it a bubble? Is it gambling? Or is it an emerging technology, an emerging industry? And ask yourself if you want to sleep on it. This is not financial advice, by the way. This is for entertainment use only, purposes only, and I am just trying to make sure that you have all the information you need. Okay, so moving on. The mayor says that he just believes in the tech, and he understands that he has to put himself out there. He also understands one very important thing, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Mr. Mayor, but I surmise, based on this and what I understand about the world, the U.S. has more competition ever in history, and our economy, services, even our currency are being knocked on by China and Russia, and now India and Europe are cozying up to China and Russia in trade deals, which are eventually going to push out the dollar in those transactions. And so we need an industry, we need to be on the forefront of tech if we want to keep the privileges of being an American when compared to living anywhere in the rest of the world. Now, that's a loaded statement, so please don't crush me on this. This is supposed to be the news. I just want to make sure that y'all are thinking about this in a big, big way. And people like the mayor of New York is pretty awesome. And if you don't know anything about him, I suggest you check him out. But anyway, so I digress. So we got wrap it up real quick. Okay, so we got NFTs are kind of really taking off and helping smaller artists finally reap the rewards of all their work, and it's a pretty awesome opportunity for musicians and small artists. Blockbuster is trying to make a comeback. And by I'll help allowing people like you and I to be able to be part of the process of creating films, investing in smaller and up-and-coming filmmakers, etc. And the New York City mayor is still committed to taking his first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin, despite the drop in all of the FUD. And remember, FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. FUD is real, but FUD is still FUD. All right. Until next time, please like, subscribe on the YouTube channel. You can get that in the link in the bio, on my link tree on Instagram. And please leave me feedback and comments. I need to know how I'm doing. Am I too opinionated? Do I talk too much? Someone told me I need to cut my nails, so I did. Someone needed to say I need to move back away from the camera, so I did. Oh, and by the way, you can see my boy Chris John's painting right here. It's the winter, the crypto winter right now, because it's crazy. So anyway. Thank you. Take care. Have a good day. Huddle on.